Hello everyone, welcome back to another Blade Skin update. Today I'll be working on the loading screen for the skin. I've started it out and I want to have loading screen similar to when you turn on the console for back then. I've managed to do all the frames, so there is 79 frames. I've tried to do another version where there is more to get a smoother transition, but it does take up a lot of time. I mean like loading time. So I don't want to take away from loading time just for something to look good. When you load up your skin, this transition will play along with the sound for the skin itself. So let's go here and do a preview. It looks choppy because of how the program does the frame. I try to increase the frame to get a more smoother transition, but the animation goes on for longer than it should. That I don't want to happen. So for now, I'm going to keep it as this until I do some more experiment to get it a more smoother transition. I will also put this on the console when I'm doing a test run. For the game itself, last time we didn't have games running when I tried to launch. So I did fix that, but when I fixed that, something else broke. As I said, you fix one thing, something else broke. But what I ended up doing after I ended up fixing it, you no longer can use left or right on your D-pad to navigate from the game tab. Only the game tab. It works everywhere else. And this is because of how Aurora was programmed, where it's just one fixed screen, and you use left and right to navigate through the different games. So I did notice that. Also, had a request to remove the glare from the game box art. When I put it on the console, you see that that glare is no longer there. And I've refined this section where the name of the game appear, and I still have the disk section to work on. Whereas for the browse function, I did get that working, so you can do a search on a particular game. The search menu will come up, or I should say the browse pop-up will come up, and you can actually do the browsing. You type in the name of a game and you press search, the name of the game will come up. The other thing is that that browse pop-up is blank. It doesn't show the result in that pop-up, which I will show. But if you close that pop-up, you'll see the game that you search for in the game selection area. Then you can go back and you can clear the search to see all your games. This section for the live, I did get a few requests to have the Unity settings here, and being that that is a way to play games online to Xbox Unity, I've done a video on that, and I'm gonna do a demonstration on how it works. That being said, I may put that settings right here where you put your credentials in and you connect to Xbox Unity to play online. For the tab that says personalize, I did get an idea from a viewer to change it to customize, which I am going to do that. So that I'll be changing to customize. It is a long process because of the different frames. So normally what I will do is start from frame 1 and I'll do, so I have to copy that. I have to go through each frame that have the word personalize, and I choose to customize. And there are also microframes also. So this only switch to the transition frame, but they are in between transition frame that I have to scroll to. I'll show you what I mean once I do the main frames. And this is one of the tedious process in going through and changing things one by one because of the different frames. So we'll go through and we change each of these. As for when this skin is gonna be finished, it will be finished this year for sure. It won't be finished in January or February because I want to get all the bugs out. I want to take my time in doing it. I remember when I was doing the first version, I did a rush on it. There were several bugs. People experience different things. I do notice that it's not stealth server friendly. Um, I'm gonna have to figure out why that is. So if you have a stealth server enabled when you launch the skin, either it freezes or it nothing happens. You end up with a black screen. So that I'm gonna have to investigate as to why that is. And sometimes it does load, but overall it freezes at the loading screen for the skin itself. Alright, so it may seem that I got all of them, but I have to do the in-between transition. So what I have to do, which is always a tedious part, I have to go back here and scroll through, and I have to look to see where personalize is still there. So I see it's right there. So I have to go back to that frame right there, and I have to find what blade text that is. I'd have to change it. And that's one of the tedious part of making these changes. Everything is done by frame, which it is time consuming. But doing things properly, you know, will make for a good result and for everyone to enjoy. Alright, so that one, this one is still saying that. And this is one of the reasons why it's difficult to link this to the language function in Aurora because of how that works. Like there's no way to link these frames and text to that language function. So once this is up and running, I'm going to have to find a way to do translation for different languages. And I'd have to do that based on requests because I can't do all languages. It will take forever, and you know I'm a one-man army, so I will do the typical ones that people request, whether it's Spanish, French, or whichever. But I will do a poll, and based on that poll, I'll see what languages I need to do. And once everything is up and going, I will change the language within Aurora and see what it affects and what it doesn't. And then from there on, I will make that change. As for the skin itself, what I may do, I may put a version up on my Discord, probably this version that I've finished work on, just for people to get a test run. I don't know. I may or I may not. It all depends on if you guys want me to. If you want me to do that, just leave it in the comment for me to leave this version that I'm currently working on up on my Discord, and you guys can actually check it out, have a feel for it to see how it feels, and I may get certain feedback and suggestion, which that I will appreciate. It'll make you know things go a lot smoother. And that seems a bit fine. There's nothing changing there. All right. So for the giveaway that I'll be doing, the giveaway will be two console. It'll be the Gears of War console from the first giveaway. One of the issues I run into that, I made a video about shipping out that console. Shipping to the US is a pain in the butt, and it's difficult to actually ship. They require too much thing from the receiver itself, and I think it's kind of ridiculous. So that console get pushed back into this giveaway. So there'll be two console in this giveaway. Um, Somehow for the console itself, I will check if anything have changed in shipping internationally. Otherwise, console winners themselves will have to be local. For international winners, I will do like what I did with the previous winner. I send off an Amazon gift card. I give the option of a few gift card, and then that person chooses Amazon. So I will do the same. And there's some that I will check with my courier to see if anything have changed in shipping internationally. Because of this tariff thing, it kind of throws everything out of whack. We're shipping, but I will do the draw for the two winners, and if those two winners end up being international, I will send out a gift card. I don't know what to do, but I will send out a gift card, and I will keep those two console as I do the first one. And when I'm doing another giveaway, probably when I reach either 5,000 subscribers or so forth, I'm not quite sure, then those two console will be in that giveaway with an additional console. It kind of seems kind of ridiculous. So there will be three draw for giveaway in my other draw, because to me, and this is just my opinion, it's unfair to have a prize for a draw, and if it's not won or it doesn't follow through the way it should, then I do away with that console, because things that prizes I'm doing for draw is for you guys. So either way, I have to find a way to either get it to you guys or I roll it over until they're all won. I welcome any suggestions because I'm out of ideas here. and this is because of the old changes with shipping. Like if shipping wasn't an issue, I would gladly, ship the prices out and everything like that. If anyone have families here, that can, that's visiting, they will, take the console, and if they're going to the States or either driving by or flying down, they can bring the console down, that's fine. But I would have to, you know, when I draw the winners, what I'll do, I'll reach out, and once I reach out, I'll find out whatever information. So if you can receive the console, I'll ship the console, no problem. If it's too much issue to ship the console, if it's too expensive, I will do the gift card. And the expense is not even the big part of it, because like when I go to UPS and I'm like, yeah, I'm shipping to the States, and you're like, well, you need so and so and so, and you'll need, if it's going to a resident, you need that person's social security number. If it's a business, you need your tax number. And I'm like, who's going to give out the social security number? Because in this day and age where there's so much identity theft, no one's going to do that. So, and that's where the difficult part is. That's where I would say it's not worth it. But I will double check again because that was in December. So now it's January, things may change or may not, but I will double check to do the giveaway. I will be releasing a video tomorrow, either tomorrow or Tuesday, um, after my research, and I'll be showing the two prizes, the console itself, and I'll be showing what you'll be getting with it. Now, I'm not quite sure if I should do the regular 2.5-inch drive or I should do a 3.5-inch drive mod and just include a 8 terabyte drive within the console with game collection. I'm not quite sure. If you have any idea if I should do that, just leave it in the comments. As I say, most of my things that I'm doing here, giveaway and everything, is for you guys. Guys, I value my viewers and their support, and my channel growth wouldn't be possible without you guys. And I want to give back to the community. As for consoles themselves, these consoles are part of console that basically you get mod to turn over. Um, the price is coming out of my pocket, not from YouTube. I'm not making any money from YouTube, so things that I'm giving away and shipping out all come out of my pocket. Yeah, and it's basically my appreciation to you guys. So yeah, I will release a video regarding the stipulation for the giveaway, and if I'm able to ship to the States or to wherever, I'll lay it out. If I'm not able to, I'll lay it out to say people who are internationally who won, they'll have, the, the choice of choosing a particular gift card, whether it's Amazon or Steam or whatever platform you game on. Alright, so all that seems to be done. Let's do a preview. Alright, so yeah, so customize it's like that. Alright, that seems fine. And now to change the customize tab itself. So that is tab 1. I need title header. I change that to customize. So let's do a preview here. And that seems fine. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to save these changes. And we are going to go on our console and we're going to boot it up and we're going to see how it launches. All right, we're going to go to different tabs and we're going to launch a game because I did fix that and I did remove the glare. So let's get that transfer through FileZilla and I'll see you on the console. All right, so we're now on our console. So we're just going to change our skin. Go to change and okay, so I have version 2, version 3. All right, so let's remove the confusion here. Alright, so this one is not it, so I will delete that. Alright, so let's go back to change skin. Alright, perfect. So I'm gonna load this up and let's see. So it should have a boot screen coming up. I say it may show a bit choppy. Alright, so let's change our cover flow. Alright, so here we have our cover flow. So there is no glare to the box art itself. And we can see where the name of the game comes up in the case spine. It looks okay. Nothing is going over the border or anything like that. For the disk section itself, that shows whether it's disk 1 or disk 2. I'm gonna work on that next to get that fixed. It seems as if I did miss a few of the tab that says personalize. Yeah, I don't know why it says that. I did change to customize, but I think I know the reason why. I think I uploaded the wrong build file. So let's jump back and I'll load that up. So I'll go to FileZilla and I'll transfer that. Alright, so it'll be a few moments for myself. For just a few seconds for you. Alright, so the skin has been transferred. So we are just gonna navigate over to our restart. Okay, so there we have it. So we have our customize tab. Let's go across. Have everything here. I know that everything has been carried over from the previous skin. And we have our box heart. And as you notice, there's no glare on the box art itself. This section I will set up the Unity connection and everything. I'll try to set it up in a nice and neat way. And I'll be doing the file file manager section next. But let's say games do launch now. Last time I checked, so let's launch. Let's try launch Halo. Right, so yeah, so our games are launching now. Yeah, so the only drawback is that when I did this to get the game to launch, to move either left or right from this tab, you have to use the LB or RB, but the rest of the menu you can use the D-pad to navigate. And again, this is because the way Aurora was designed, it was designed to be on like one fixed page where you use left and right to navigate your games. And that's one of the drawback with this with the game section. I don't think I'll be able to change any button configuration so you can use left or right on the D-pad to go to the other blade. Just for this one you have to use LB or RB. Me trying to fix that may end up breaking something else, and I have to think, is it worth changing a button configuration here to break something that will be useful? But yeah, so the games do launch, and next go back out to our blade skin. Here we go. So that has been the progress so far. Yes, I mentioned the browse, so you can do the browse, nothing won't come up right there. You do X, and if I type in, like say, hello, and do done, if I press back, it will show only the hello titles. So the search is working, just like when you press the browse, nothing comes up. And that's the thing. So what normally do, let's say, go to X, nothing's there, done, then you clear. Let's see. See, that's another bug that I've just figured out now. And instead of the console are frozen. So that's one thing I'm going to look into. I don't think me changing anything caused that, but I'm going to reboot the console and we're going to try that again. It was working when I last tried it. Alright, let's wait for this to boot up. And it should launch right in our blade skin. Okay, so let's do that search again. Press X and we're gonna search for Halo once again. And we can search. And so if we go back to browse, and if we go to search again, if we type anything there, let's see, I click clear, So it's not going back. So now I'm gonna figure out why. The last time it was going back. I don't know if probably change something that breaks that. But I will be fixing that. So as I say, like I have to be careful what I'm changing because one simple thing can cause the console to either freeze or Aurora doesn't like certain changes. But I did save a previous version where everything was working, so I will revert back to that and I'll compare to see what I've changed from this one to the previous one. But yeah, that is the progress of the Blade Skin so far. If you need me to put a link to try it out for yourself, I can do that upon request. If it doesn't work, there's no harm. It doesn't harm your system or anything like that because it's just a regular skin. So because there's no flashing of anything of any sort, and if it does freeze, you can always go back here, go to skin, change, and just go back to your regular skin. So it won't break your system or anything. If it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. If you encounter a bug, you can just simply, go back and change to your regular skin that you have. So if you all like to give it a test ride just to see how it is, do let me know in the comment down below. I should let you know that it doesn't behave good with stealth server. So if you have a stealth server, enable. I don't know about XGuard. I've never used XGuard before, but I know for Proto it normally hangs up on the boot screen because it's trying to load into Aurora or say the Blade Skin while connecting to the stealth server, and for some reason the timing isn't perfect. So if it's trying to do both, it tends to hang up. I don't know why. I'll figure that out after the fact when I get everything up and running. But yeah, like, subscribe, leave your comments down below, and I will see you in the next one.